everyone. My name is August. I'm the children's librarian at the Central City Branch Library, and I'm so excited that you could join us for today's virtual pre-recorded story time. Today's story time is in celebration of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So we're going to get started by singing The More We Get Together. The lyrics are right here behind me. And we'll have a different second verse, and this song celebrates some of the themes that Dr. King stood for. So let's get started with The More We Get Together. The more we get together, 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 the more we get together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. And now we have a different second verse. The more we help each other, each other, each other, the more we help each other, the stronger we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. The more we help each other, the stronger we'll be. Good job, everyone. That was an awesome song. So, Dr. Martin Luther King was a reverend and an activist. And being an activist means that you work together with other people to make something change. For the grown-ups out there, in today's story time, I'll be sharing some tips about how you can help increase your children's background knowledge. Researchers have shown that kids with strong background knowledge, which just means knowledge about the world around them, have an easier time making sense of what they read when they do learn to read. So, let's get started by reading our first book, which we're going to be reading with permission from Simon & Schuster. This book is called A Sweet Smell of Roses, and it's written by Angela Johnson and illustrated by Eric Velasquez. After a night of soft rain, there is a sweet smell of roses as my sister, Minnie, and I slip past Mama's door and out of the house down Charlotte Street. Past the early morning milkman, over the cobbled bridge, and through the curb market to where everyone waits to march. Minnie and I are only waist high to most of them. Waist high, Minnie and me, waist high, holding hands and waiting to march. There is a sweet smell of roses as everyone waits for Dr. King to speak. And the colors, bright light from the sun on the flowers, beside the road, as we listen to Dr. King on the megaphone say, "We are right. We march for equality and freedom." So all of these people gathered here are activists, like we said Dr. King was, someone who works together with other people to make a change. Do you know what we call it when there's a gathering, like when people get together like this and they might have signs? I see some people have signs in the background, and sometimes people make a speech like Dr. King is doing here. What do we call that? That's right, we actually have a lot of different words for that. We could call it a rally, we could call it a demonstration, we could call it a protest, we could call it a march when people move together through the city, sometimes with their signs or saying chants. Those are all different words for the same thing. So that's what those people are doing here today. Then we start to march, Minnie and me, We look ahead and walk faster like him, clapping in time with our feet, looking ahead just like him. And when it's saying him, it's talking about Dr. Martin Luther King, who we can see right here. There is a sweet smell of roses, even as we march past the people who scream, shout, and say, "You are not right. Equality can't be yours." This page makes me pretty sad because I see these white people here shouting at the black activists and telling them that they can't have equality. Equality is like fairness. It means making sure that everyone has what they need and is treated the same no matter what they look like or where they come from. And unfortunately, some white people in the past, and some still today, didn't believe that black and white people should be treated equally or have equality with each other. Dr. Martin Luther King, thankfully, led this march and marches like this because he did believe that black and white people should have equality and that poor people should also have equality. So that's why he was leading a march like this. Then we look farther down the road and keep holding hands, feeling a part of it all, walking our way toward freedom. There is a sweet smell of roses as more people start marching with us, pouring out of the side streets, clapping and singing. Freedom, freedom. Then someone picks me up and puts me on his shoulders. Someone picks Minnie up too, and we are high above everybody, still marching. There is a sweet smell of roses as we all gather in the center of town. All together, all here, listening to Dr. King as the sun gets higher in the sky. And in this picture, I can see that there are both black and white people actually marching together for equality. So we know from looking at this picture that some white people in the past, and many today, do believe that black and white people should have equality and work on activism to make that happen. And there's Dr. Martin Luther King again giving a speech. He talks about peace, love, nonviolence, and change for everybody. And the sun gets higher in the sky. When it's time to go, we skip back hand in hand, Minnie and me, singing freedom songs along the streets. Through the curb market, over the cobbled bridge, and past the mailman, to our house on Charlotte Street. Then there is Mama, worried face, waiting there for us. She smiles after a while, hugging us, then takes our hands. And as we tell her about the march, the curtains float apart, and there is a sweet smell of roses all through the house. The end. A Sweet Smell of Roses by Angela Johnson, illustrated by Eric Velasquez. So in that book, it just said that they skipped back singing freedom songs. So next we're going to sing one of the songs that maybe they would have sang together, called This Little Light of Mine. And when we sing this song, we're going to do a few signs in American Sign Language to go along with some of the words. We won't learn all of the words to the song in American Sign Language, but we will learn a few. So let's start with the word light. To make the word light, you go like this. Light. Good job. Pretty easy. Next, we'll learn the word for mine. So to do the word mine, you go like this. Mine. So now we know light and mine. Good job. Last, we're going to learn the word for shine. So to do the word for shine, you put both of your hands like this, and you put your middle finger pointing down, and then you go up like this. Shine. So it's kind of like a sparkle of light coming off of something. Shine. Shine. Good job. So we've got light, mine, and shine. So I'll sing the song once first, and then I'll do it again, and we can all sing it together. And you can do the signs along with me. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let's do it again, and you can join along with me. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Good job, everyone. That was a really good job singing that song and doing those signs. So now we're going to read another book, our last book for this story time. And this is about another march that Dr. Martin Luther King was a part of, the 1963 March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. So this book is called We March by Shane W. Evans. And let's find out what it says. It starts out at night. I see the moon. The morning is quiet. The sun rises. And we prepare to march. We pray for strength. We work together. So here again, just like in the last book that we saw, when they were getting ready or when they were at a march and had some signs that they were carrying, here they're getting ready for their march and they're making signs together. And here on this sign, they're painting the words, "We want freedom." They haven't quite finished writing the word freedom yet, but it looks like they're going to finish it now. We come from all over to march. We follow our leaders. I see more signs. Some of these say equal work, equal pay, and justice for all. And I see Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. again. We walk together. And even though this book says we walk together, in this picture I also see someone who's using a wheelchair to get around. Using a wheelchair is just another way to get around. Some people walk. Some people might use a cane or crutches, and some people use wheelchairs. This is another great way to increase background knowledge, just simply by talking about what you see in the pictures. As you know, kids are very curious, so just responding to any questions that they might have about what they see in the pictures, or talking about anything that you maybe haven't talked about before. is a great way to increase their knowledge of the world around them and help prepare them for when they're learning to read. And so another way you might talk about this page, instead of saying we walk together, since not everyone actually is walking, you might say we move together or we go together. We sing. We are hot and tired, but we are filled with hope. We lean on each other. As we march to justice, to freedom, and to our dreams. And there we see another picture of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., which I think is a great way to end the readings that we're doing for today. And if you want to find out more about any of the marches or people that we talked about today, about Martin Luther King Jr. or any other civil rights leaders, or if you want to find out about the March on Washington, for example, you can use our free library resource, Britannica Library, by going to our website, www.nolalibrary.org. If you go to the Research tab, you can go to Databases and then access Britannica Library, and through that resource you can access different encyclopedia entries which have information that's prepared for people of different ages. So there's a kids section to that really awesome free resource. So thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to close our story time by singing our opening song one more time to say goodbye, the more we get together, with our second verse, our special second verse. The more we get together, 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 the more we get together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. The more we help each other, each other, each other. The more we help each other, the stronger we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. The more we help each other, the stronger we'll be. Thanks so much, everyone, and we hope to see you next time.